Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. Gather around and tune in to another episode of the Professional Nomad Podcast. As always, I am your humble host, Stefano. Thank you for being able to join me today. If you're not able to join me during the live video, please make sure that if you're watching this on the replay, that you are hitting the like button. Also, make sure you are subscribed. We gained a lot of subscribers over the week, and we're trying to grind it on out with you. So please keep hitting that subscribe button. Please keep hitting that like button. It's greatly appreciated. The channel is growing. The podcast is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every week. We got people from all over the world tuning in. Recently had some people from Sweden in the comments. I want to say thank you. We just want to make sure that we're reaching as many nomadic mindset people as possible. That is the goal. We're trying to make this place a place for people who got a nomad mindset to feel comfortable somewhere you could come and express yourself with your opinions, where you won't be judged or critiqued for no apparent reason. We are the underdog, and we always root for the underdog. So here, you're always going to be welcome. Like I always say, please make sure you hit that like button, whether you're watching the video now or if you're watching the video on the replay, right? I told you that we're going to get right into this. We're not going to hesitate. Once Nancy Grace gets on you, pretty much on your ass. You got to have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted, because she's going to make you look real bad. And now the transcripts have been leaked for Diddy's son alleged assault that happened on the yacht. They got some of the transcripts, and we're going to review them just in a minute. So first, let's see who we got in the building. As always, beautiful La Quina. Gracias, La Quina. Bienvenidos, cariño. All right. Now, as I said, we're going to get straight into this because I want to hear what Nancy got to say about this. We're going to do another blind reaction right now. So without further ado, let's go.
He's spending the last 72 hours looking very not concerned about the ongoing sex trafficking investigation instigated by the federal government. Homeland Security investigators piling into a simultaneous search of 2 Diddy locations. Seemingly, that doesn't bother him. As a matter of fact, he reposted one of his music videos titled Victory. Let's take a look.
Now, I touched on this video last week, right? I told you guys he posted this on his Instagram. This is a video about him running from some people. I don't know if he's trying to make it seem like he's running from the police, if he's running from some other type people, it's like Illuminati type figures or whatever, right? But he's running from somebody. So he made this cryptic post on his Instagram, making it seem like he gets away. What is he running from? That is the question. So, like I've always said, man, you have to put yourself in a position. You have to keep a professional mindset, right? You can never put yourself in a position where you have to be explaining things, and you sure don't want to put yourself in a position where you got to run from something, right? I'm not saying Diddy is the perfect role model in this situation right here at all, but as you see, he's having fun with it. He doesn't have one care at all about what's going on with this right here. So we're gonna keep on reviewing this and hear what Nancy has to say.
Okay, what was that at the very end? A woman writhing up and down on a stripper pole, seemingly in a cage. And then you see a cutaway of Sean Puffy Combs on the run from apparently federal agents. Wow. I don't know that this is a good time to repost that, but he did.
I'm telling you, I don't think this was the smartest decision at all by Diddy, because sometimes you just can't thumb your nose at people. Like I said, man, there's rules to the game, and you just have to learn to play by them. And being someone like him that has never had to go through this before, you can tell he's acting pretty childish about it. But let's go on.
Guys, take a listen to this.
While initial reports indicated that Combs may have left the country, it appears the mogul has remained in Miami since the raids. Combs was seen taking his teen daughters to Topgolf and stopping by a restaurant in the days after the searches. Over the Easter holiday, Combs posted several photos of his youngest daughter, Love. Most recently, the rapper was caught on camera riding his bike to South Beach. Combs was all smiles, appearing unbothered by the continuing investigation into allegations of sex trafficking and sex assault.
As Sean Puffy Combs gets warnings from behind bars that his life is in danger, he goes for a bike ride. With me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now. But first, Akela Brantley, investigative reporter with dailymail.com, on the story from the very beginning. Akela, what's the latest?
Thanks for having me, Nancy. Things have just gone from bad to worse for Diddy. And now not only is he being accused of misconduct, but his son is being accused. Now, his son, Christian King Combs, he's only 26 years old, and he was named in a lawsuit by a young woman, 25-year-old named Grace, who was working on a yacht in December 2022, when she says that Christian Combs assaulted her, that he's tried groping her, that he trapped her in a room, and that it wasn't until another crew.
Now, just to be clear, this isn't Christian right here. This is the other son. I can't think of what his name is, but this is not King Combs. This is the other son that is by I'll be sure. Diddy just adopted him, but that's not Christian right there. But let's go on.
Crew member came to stop it, that she was finally released. She said that she was forced to take a tequila shot, and there's actual audio of that incident where she asks, "Is this drugged?" And he says, "Take the tequila shot."
Okay, wait, where did the video come from?
So it's an audio that was a transcript of the audio was included in the 31-page lawsuit. So apparently, I'm not sure who exactly was recording, but there is a recording out there.
Joining me very quickly, and I want to circle back to you, Kiela, about Sean Puffy Combs, aka Diddy, spinning. I mean, this guy is a master promoter. That's what he has done to become a media mogul with a net worth of around $1 billion. He spins it, right? And that's what he's doing right now. Every move he makes in the public anyway is for a reason. To Bernarda Villalona, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor at villalonalaw.com. Bernarda, thank you for being with us. Here's the reality. Sean Puffy Combs has been dragged into another lawsuit claiming sex attack on his son because it occurred on Diddy's, Sean Puffy Combs' yacht. Okay. And the allegation is that Combs aided and abetted his son in this attack. But what I want to ask you about, Bernarda Villalona, is the audio tape that Kayla Brantley's talking about? Can I see Bernarda, please? Bernarda, to get a video or an audio tape, even if it's a 911 call from the police, for Pete's sake, the prosecutor or whoever wants to bring it in has to go through a series of evidentiary hoops. In fact, it's laid out in black and white in the criminal code. You have to prove veracity. You've got to show who made the audio. Sometimes why did they make the audio in as the circumstances surrounding the audio being made. You have to show chain of custody on the audio to make sure it hasn't been tampered with in any way. So when I say who made it, where did it come from, that's got to be proven in court before it can be allowed before a jury.
Yes, absolutely. So, Nancy, what it seems like is that Little Rod, who's one of the people that is also suing Puffy, was the one who actually made the recording.
Excuse me, Bernarda. I don't know if you're expecting to go over to his house after the trial, but I believe you're referring to Rodney Jones, aka.
Nah, hold on for a second. Now I don't know if it's just me or this lady just irritated the hell out of Nancy Grace, but Nancy just put this lady in her place on national TV. It would have sounded like to me. Now it didn't sound like she was joking, but she didn't come with the facts. And like I said, once Nancy Grace get on you gotta have all your T's crossed and your I's dotted. You can't come on here short stopping and half stepping, or Nancy gonna get with you. And that's just what happened right there. But make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel, Gracia La Cagina. Make sure you're subscribed to the to the YouTube channel. You have to be subscribed, guys, to keep on getting this good information like this. We keep dropping gems over here, right? We keep dropping dimes. We keep dropping them over here. Please make sure you are subscribed. Hit that notification bell so you'll know when we go live, right? Right now, we're live on YouTube. We're live on Twitter, and we're live on Facebook. There's 10 people, 11 people watching. Please make sure across all platforms that you hit that like button, that you are subscribed, and that you are following the podcast on all of the platforms. Not just YouTube, on all of the platforms. Let me make it easy for you. Boom. Below, you can find us on all social media platforms right here. Everything you want to do, if you're a fan of the podcast, keep on reaching out. Follow us on X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, Rumble. We're everywhere. All right? Go find us. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the follow button. Hit the like button on all the videos. Tell your friends. Invite them over. Share the videos. Leave a comment below. If you want to see the podcast cover certain topics, all you got to do is hit me at that email right there, the professionalnomad@gmail.com, and I'll review it. See if it's something that is worthwhile to talk about on here, and we will make it work if we can. All right. Gracias La Cagina. Yeah, she just put her right in her place. Let's continue.
Little Rod.
Yeah, so supposedly it was Little Rod. Rodney Jones was the one who made this recording, which calls into question is why he was making a recording, and he knew what was going to happen, so he did it thinking that it was going to happen, and he wanted evidence of it. Interestingly enough, that the attorney that's representing Rodney Jones is the same attorney that's representing this complainant, this victim in this alleged sexual assault. But this is very damning evidence, because usually in cases like this, Nancy, what's the number one defense? Credibility, believability. She's making it up. This is a money grab. But here you have an actual audio recording that the complainant, the victim, is going to be able to authenticate and say, that is me on the recording. That is actually what happened. There is nothing missing from that recording, and will be able to meet the burden to have that piece of evidence moved into evidence if it's in a civil lawsuit, in a civil case, or even in a criminal one.
Now let's stop it right here for a second. All right. Blow my nose. Allergies are killing me this time of year. So let's look at this right here. I'm gonna move myself out of the way. Boom. All right. So this is some of the transcripts from the audio that has been leaked by Rodney Jones, aka Lil Rod, right? The plaintiff, that is the lady, her name is Grace, right? So Grace, we're gonna refer to her as Grace by her name. Grace, I'm only doing it, the shot, as long as you take it as well. Defendant, that's Christian Combs, right? Christian, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not taking nothing. Please, please take the shot. The plaintiffs specifically asked right then and there, are you drugging me? You're drugging me, right? So you are drugging me. This gives me the vibes like someone has an accent, because if you're American, you don't say you are drugging me as a question. You say, are you drugging me? You are drugging me? Like, let's say if someone was from Latin America or Hispanic and English is not their first language, you say, you are drugging me? No? Or see? Or yes? You're drugging me? Yes? Or something like that. So this lets me know that this person who said this is a transcript of a person who has an accent, because this is not the form of a proper question. If any of you paid attention in English class, you'd learn this too, right? And then she says, excuse me, don't touch my legs like that. I'll move my legs where I want to. So, like I said last week, things started to get a little chippy. All right. Started to get a little chippy, guys. Started to get a little touchy feeling in there, and she wasn't with that. So, what does this mean? This means they got proof that something happened in that room. And little Rodney Jones, his lawsuit is very vivid with a lot of pictures and a lot of evidence in his lawsuit. And it just happens that little Rodney and Grace have the same lawyer. So basically what happened was little Rodney, while trying to record stuff happening to him, recorded something happening to her. So, I mean, can you say double whammy? So not only is Lil Rodney suing him for a bankroll, so is Grace, because he got it on tape. And now, because the lawyer has authenticated that it happened to this lady, now he has this lady in under his representation. The lawyer's name is Tyrone. If you've been watching The Lead Attorney, make sure you go subscribe to The Lead Attorney. If you've been watching his broadcast, you know that the lawyer's name is Tyrone, and well, he's pretty much got this thing on lock. But we're gonna keep on looking at this. Let's continue. Yeah, but she put Gail in her place. She put her in her place so hard, she made her feel so bad her New York accent came out.
So that hurdle is going to be met. But this is very damaging against his son, also damaging against Diddy, because it can even possibly go in, if the federal prosecutors are looking at a RICO charge, can go in as one of those acts.
You're throwing around a lot of legal phrases. When you say RICO, it's typically referred to as racketeering, but what she means is an organized conspiracy. And it doesn't have to be that organized. It could be, for instance, Sean Puffy Combs gets his number one hench person to bring in a girl, and somebody else spikes a drink. As a hypothetical, it's just basically a group, even if loosely joined together, joining together for a criminal enterprise such as sex trafficking. And Bernarda Villalona, I like what you said. You're a former prosecutor and you look at the evidence, i.e., this audio tape. Hey, is this drugged? The woman says before she drinks it. And the audio says that Combs' son says, just drink it. Drink it. Okay, long story short, that's a problem for the defense. So they are going to attack the alleged victim. They're going to drag her through the mud. But if they can get that audio in, that goes a long way to corroborating her story. I'm very curious from where that audio came. Now, this as it's spinning out. Kayla Brantley joining me, dailymail.com. The Instagram model Jade Ramey denies in Rodney Jones lawsuit that she was ever a sex worker. So the feds are not going to be able to count on her because she's already shot her credibility in the foot by going public and saying that. But I see a litmus test here. When you say, hey, you're lying on me, that's slander, that's libel, are you going to sue? Because if you sue, the truth is a complete defense. So let's just see if a lawsuit comes out of this. But I want to talk about Combs being a spin master, a powerhouse in the music industry, largely because he is not only talented, but a genius at marketing. This promoter is putting out there his actions implying a lot. He's biking, he's smiling. Come to me, Liz. I want to show the viewers something. This weekend, he was going over a bridge on a bike and he let go of the handlebars and just went freestyle. Hey, look, mom, no hands. Like in Titanic, when Kate Winslet just lets go, right? Like he doesn't have a care in the world. Biking, smiling, drinking wine. Translation, I'm not worried. It's a spin, Kayla.
Well, as you can see, these allegations go back decades, and he's gotten away with things thus far. So I feel like he's just acting as if he will continue to get out of things and get away from things. It's something that he's accustomed to, living this glamorous lifestyle. And when he tells people to do things, they do it. When he tells people to cover things up, they do it. So for him, obviously, things have gotten much worse. He's never had a huge raid on his house, a federal investigation. But for him, this is just another issue that he's hoping will be swept under the rug.
To Scott Johnson joining me, forensic psychologist, 32 years dealing with sex predators at forensicconsultation.org. Scott, thank you for being with us. You know, I prosecuted a lot of rape cases, a trafficking case with a 14-year-old little victim. I can't even count them all, Scott. And sometimes the defendant comes into court and he looks really worried, okay? Sweating, fidgety, can't meet anybody's eyes, can't look them in the face. And there are others that are bold and arrogant because the sex attack victims mean nothing to them. They are so convinced of their own power, their wealth, their prestige. They believe nobody is going to believe the victim.
Right. And part of that narcissism and psychopath traits of being able to portray themselves as socially great and then have the equally opposite deviant side of getting away with things, covering it up, and just blowing it off with minimal fear of consequences. And that's really, I think, what we're seeing with him is portraying this I just really don't care lifestyle, when in fact a normal person, if you will, would have been hiding, would have been scared, would have been, worried about going to prison and the reputation. He's just out living his life again. He doesn't care.
Well, as a matter of fact, an associate of Sean Puffy Combs, aka Diddy, has released a highlight reel of Sean Puffy Combs' lavish parties. This emerges with Combs partying with Hollywood friends, A-listers, and designer clothes. I want you to take a look at this.
As rumors swirl around the sex trafficking allegations against Sean Diddy Combs, many celebrities in Combs' circle have...
Now, let me stop it right there. This is a post from Stevie J. Now, if you notice, Stevie J was one of the people that was supposed to be in the lawsuit, of Lil Rodney's lawsuit. Make sure you're following us on Instagram as well. The Instagram link is below. It's in the comments. Please make sure that you are following us on all social media platforms. Just in case something ever happens here, you can stay in tune and find us wherever we're at. All right, guys? Gracias like a keen eye. Stevie J says this is what a real Diddy party looks like, right? But it's got a picture of some powerful people in there. You got Jaden Smith, you got Diddy, and Jigga. And if I'm correct, that's Kanye right there. You got Kanye, Pharrell, Sean Combs, which was Diddy, and Jay-Z, right? Now they're thinking that this was posted to blackmail them or something like this or whatever the case, but what he's doing is stepping up for Diddy, okay? Because everyone's saying that Diddy's parties, all of his parties are S parties. This, if I'm correct, is a picture from Diddy's 50th birthday party. So they celebrated this out somewhere in New York. I don't remember the exact place, but you can look it up and find out. But of course, nothing would be happening like this in a public place. The things that they're talking about he's doing is happening in a controlled environment. Controlled, meaning he controls the environment. Does that make sense? He controls the environment because he can apply pressure to whoever he wants to apply pressure to. So every photo or post of a party that you're going to see from Diddy, it does not mean that the man was out practicing hedonism in public. What we're worried about is the alleged things that happen behind closed doors. Now, what happens behind closed doors is what you should be concerned about, because the allegations, especially the ones that's going against his son, right? Especially the one that's going against his son, is showing basically a pattern, right? Because over the years, there have been patterns of things that have happened, and he's gotten away with it. In the chat, I put a poll in there. If you're brave enough, go ahead and take the poll. And the poll goes and it says, do you think Diddy is corrupting his children's lives? Yes or no? I'd like to see everybody take that poll so I can see what your response is. I want to know what you think about it. All right. Just hit yes or no. It's on the two options, yes or no. It's in the chat on YouTube. All right. But my opinion doesn't matter. I want to know what yours is. Let's get back to the video.
Remained silent. Others, especially those named in Rodney Jones' lawsuit, have rushed to the rapper's defense. Producer Stevie J posted a highlight reel of Combs' 50th birthday party to Instagram, showing off many A-list attendees. While the post purports to indicate what a real Diddy party looks like, it may also serve as a reminder to those pictured that they were on camera.
Kobe Bryant, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, Mary Blige, Kim and Khloe Kardashian, Kylie Jenner, Post Malone, Naomi Campbell, Cardi B, Big Sean, Travis Scott, The Weeknd, Kanye, Jaden Smith, Snoop Dogg, Queen Latifah, Kevin Hart, Machine Gun Kelly. I can't even read them all. So I guess the point is all of these A-listers are partying with Combs. You think the feds care? Everybody parties with Puff. That's Stevie J's visual reminder. Stevie J posting a video that Combs' biggest PR offensive to date is this video showing star after star after star partying with Sean Puffy Combs. Back to you, Scott Johnson. You think the feds care?
Oh, absolutely not, because this is just him portraying this socially normal, respected kind of individual soiree, when in fact the dark side's still going on. And so regardless of who he's with, it doesn't take away at all the credibility of any of the alleged victims or the charges against him.
To you, Bernardo Villalona, though, what about a jury? What about the association between Combs And these superstars like Mary Blige, like The Weeknd, like the Kardashians and the Jenners, that could actually affect a juror.
Absolutely, because you got to think juries are normal people. They may be fazed by all of these stars and it may affect their judgment. But I think the feds do care, Nancy, and this is how. The feds may want to question, may want to subpoena these A-listers to see whether they have any knowledge of what happened at these parties, whether they have anything that can move the ball or any interest, or have they seen or heard anything criminal wise. So they
Oh,
Brian,
first off, let me stop it right there. First off, they're not going to subpoena those guys. Not Jay-Z. All right. They're not going to subpoena Jay-Z.
timestamp.
They're not going to subpoena the Kardashians. They're not going to subpoena those people. I mean, what do you stand to gain by subpoenaing these people? Besides embarrassing yourself, you have to think about that. Lost my place. I'm gonna have to find it in a second. Make sure you subscribe to my Facebook page. Go follow my Facebook page. Go follow the Professional Nomad on Facebook, guys. Like I said, please make sure that you are following us on all social media platforms. Right? Hit that like button, hit that follow button. We are live right now on Facebook. We're live right now on Twitter, and we're live right now on good old YouTube. But just in case something ever happens on YouTube, you know how to find us. Because right there in that banner below, you can see all the social media spots where we're at. Don't make the mistake of waiting too late to go ahead and do it. Go ahead and jump on it now. Hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit that like button. The more you do that, the more it invites people into the stream to come view the streams, right? That's why we're live on 3 different platforms, the 3 major platforms right now, so we can get this message out to as many nomadic mindset people as possible, because we are a team and we are a group and we want to be together. So this is the place where we're going to congregate right here. Gracias like a keynote. Now, they're not going to subpoena those people. Why? Because they're too rich and they're too powerful. I'm not saying it can't happen, because anything is possible, but do you actually think you're going to see Kim or Khloe Kardashian on trial being questioned about P. Diddy's parties? Let me sit that right there for a second. I want to see if anybody can fathom the idea that these people are going to be in court summoned by some judge as to the relevance of what they know about something that's going on in a P. Diddy party. Yeah, that ain't happening. So the bad thing so far, if we can do a quick recap, is that we have the transcripts for my Earl Grey tea drinkers. Drinking some Earl Grey tea again. A little splash of almond milk. I suggest you try it. You don't know what you're missing. We've got transcripts from the audio of the alleged assault from Christian Combs. Now, they're not putting all the evidence out there, but it's out there. And I'm pretty sure if we dig hard enough, we can get the audio. I know places where we can find that audio. I'm just too scared to put it on YouTube. Once upon a time, I didn't pay for music either, so I know where to find it if I want to go get it, if that makes sense. Leave a comment below if you want me to go get that audio and play it for you. Might have to do that on Rumble. Might not be able to do that on here, but let me know if you want me to go find that audio. I bet I can find the audio. Trust me, I can find the audio if I put my mind to it. But the important thing is we got the transcripts, guys. It's transcripts of the audio of the alleged assault that happened on the yacht by this lady, right? Now, what they're going to say is that there's a problem with the recording of the person, but because they were on a boat in the middle of the ocean, there's no two-party consent needed. The whole reason why Diddy was taking people out there allegedly to whatever island it was to do whatever he did on the boat was because he didn't need consent. He didn't need consent. So neither did Lil Rod. Right? Second off, now, if anything was recorded in Miami, if it happened in Florida, then yeah, that probably is going to get thrown out. Because you do need a consent to do that. It's a two-party state. Now, most states are maybe one, but Florida's a two-party state. So if anything was recorded in, let's say, Florida, it's inadmissible. Do your research and you'll learn about that. Let me find my spot. I lost my spot on here.
Combs' former bodyguard, video
Marshals keeping video assaulting and joining
Prince Andrew, Jeffrey Epstein bodyguard for evidence
to be seen. Listen,
the Rodney Lil Rod Jones lawsuit alleges
I video records what we have been seeing that, but sources are
of what happened at these parties, whether they have anything that can move the ball or any interest, or have they seen or heard anything criminal wise. So they do care in that sense. I wouldn't be surprised if any of them get subpoenas.
including Golden Boy Ashton Kutcher, who apparently is preparing to be subpoenaed. Of course, he's not saying that, but sources are saying that. Is that real? What they better be worried about instead of posting birthday videos with stars is what we have been told: video and audio recordings depicting sex acts by Diddy and others on victims, be they willing or unwilling, remains to be seen. Listen.
the Rodney Lil Rod Jones lawsuit alleges there's evidence of the sexual assaults and sex trafficking as hidden cameras record everything throughout the Combs homes, which is why homes in LA and Miami were raided. Combs' former bodyguard, Gene Deal, commented that if there are cameras in Combs' homes, there may be compromising video of politicians and princes. The claims are reminiscent of the cameras Jeffrey Epstein allegedly used as an insurance policy against powerful friends like Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton.
To Barry Golden joining us, former senior inspector with the U.S. Marshals Service, now with Golden Consulting and Investigations. Barry, thank you for being with us. Keeping
Nice to be here.
videos? Seriously? I mean, I don't know if he intended to keep the videos or just never erased them, but apparently during the raids on his two domiciles, videos were seized. I mean, if that's true, what an idiot to keep videos. I mean, help me, Barry Golden.
That's what people do. People keep videos to look back on, later in time. And that's why I think
Okay,
that
could
this
you just stop right
investigation-
there, Barry Golden? Barry Golden, please stop. Once in a while, I relook at videos of my children through the years going to Santa because I happen to have it on a reel. The way you said that, you made it sound so innocent. Yeah, people look back on videos and reminisce. What? These are sex videos.
Nancy's feeling spicy today for some reason. She's just checking everybody. Yeah, that's what offenders do, Nancy. They keep memorabilia. I mean, you prosecuted cases before. Like, you don't know this stuff. Look, man, common sense ain't that common sometimes, guys, but we can't, I mean, obviously she's selling it for her show or whatever, right? But yes, people keep stuff like that. That's what they do. I mean, being that she's a prosecutor, she should know this, right? But she's a little spicy today. I can't lie. She's checking everybody. First she checked the attorney, now she's checking him. Wow.
Potentially of unwilling victims. That means rape. Rape. That's what we're talking about. What do you mean to reminisce?
Well, I'm not just people they keep the videos. And one thing that I look at it in some of the audio recordings that you have and the video recordings, especially that audio recording on that yacht. One thing you may want to look at is that somebody has to authenticate that audio recording. It's an audio recording. So if the allegations that Rodney Evans is the one that took that audio recording, that needs to be date and time stamped somehow, just so you don't have some audio that happened, you don't know when. It needs to be date and time stamped, and it's probably taken by his cell phone, which means Rodney Evans probably is a witness to some of the partial alleged, sex acts that might have happened if he recorded that. Maybe not all of them, but part of them. So, but all these videos are going to need to be date and time stamped and have an accurate time when they happen.
You know what? I got bigger problems than the date and time stamp, Barry Golden. Of course, you're right. But yes, of course, you're right. Evidentiarily, you're right. And that's got to be done by the feds if they're going to bring this type of evidence into trial. But I got a bigger question. Scott Johnson, I need a shrink. And you're a forensic psychologist. What kind of perv keeps videos of allegedly unwilling sex acts with victims for the feds to race in their armored vehicle and seize?
Yes, and out of narcissism, they keep these videos so they can replay them, enjoy them, get off on the power that they is demonstrated in the video, but also as a source of blackmail for those involved to keep them quiet. So two prongs.
So you're saying blackmail on the victim to keep the victim quiet? And all of these are allegations. Nobody's been tried. Nobody's been found guilty. In fact, Sean Puffy, Diddy, P. Diddy, Combs says he's innocent. So wait, let me understand this. The alleged rapist, you're saying, would use the videos to blackmail the alleged victim? Isn't that bass backwards? Shouldn't the victim be using it against him?
Well, it's one way to not only keep the victim quiet, but also others that were participating from possibly testifying against what was allowed to happen. So from that standpoint, it's a power piece in the chess game for the offender, as well as going back and reminiscing about it, because likely that's what he does. Why do you keep
saying that? You and Barry Golden, reminiscing. Yeah. Like,
because it's true. That's what they do, Nancy. Jesus Christ. She's killing me with this. Why do you keep saying this stuff? This is what they do. This is what happens. I mean, oh my God. She's on the ID channel. I mean, I can't recount how many late nights I've stayed up. And I've seen episodes where people have been caught and they catch them with the memorabilia. All over the nation, all over the world. From petties to murderers to everybody, serial killers, everyone, they all do the same thing. And she's acting like she don't understand why they're saying it, because it's true. This is what they do. I mean, I know it's hard to fathom because most normal thinking people wouldn't want to relive something as horrible as grape or as assault. But everyone doesn't think the same out here. Everyone doesn't play by the same rules. Some people think certain things are okay. And that's why I said last week, there are certain rules you have to abide by. You have to play by the rules. When you don't play by the rules, you might get away with stuff for so long. As in this alleged situation with Diddy, right? You might get away with stuff for so long, but eventually it catches up to you. I used to be one of those type people that did this. Used to didn't give a damn or have no regards for certain people or certain things. And you know what happened? Eventually it caught up with me. My luck started becoming so bad that I didn't know what was going on. And I used to have to think, what did I do to deserve this? Oh, boom. Well, I did do this. Well, I did do that. Well, I did do this. So what I ended up having to do is I had to stop doing certain things because I wanted to generate good karma. There's such thing as good karma and bad karma. When you do a lot of jacked up, messed up things, I hate you generate bad karma. And eventually your building comes crumbling down on top of you because you're too blockheaded and too egocentric to realize what's going on while it's going on. That's just how it happens. You have to play by the rules. Yeah, some people are able to skip ahead and skip past go and do this and do that. But that don't mean you can do it. And then in the long run, look at what happens to these people that are afforded the opportunity to skip ahead. I'm just saying. I'm not an angel. I've never professed to be an angel, but the quickest way to get yourself into something is by doing something crazy like this. Now, if we were the normal people in the world and we didn't have, something like this was happening to a normal person who doesn't have a Diddy status, they'd have him buried under the jail by now. Right? Don't matter if he was innocent or not, he'd probably be buried under the jail. So let's not get it twisted. Because Diddy is a billionaire, they're going about this a certain way because he has reach. He has reach. If this was little Chris from up the street and they did this and they went in his house and they found videos, little Chris be gone. We'll probably never hear no more about this. Ever. But because it's Diddy, oh man. Let's proceed slowly and carefully, right? And that's to make it seem, they're making it seem like this guy's an idiot too. Now, what we're not realizing is that he already had to pay Cassie. All right, follow me here. He had to pay Cassie, right? Now, when it came out that she was suing him for all this money, she talked about the tapes and the houses. This man is a billionaire. If you look at these houses, then you can only imagine the type of surveillance systems that he has in these houses, right? Now, think about this for a second. Now, if this man has state-of-the-art surveillance systems in the houses, why would he not have people that he can pay to come in and wipe these state-of-the-art surveillance systems? Hello? Leave a comment below if you're following what I'm saying. If you actually think they found something on those tapes that they found in his house, I want to see what you say in the comments. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think they found. But if you agree with me that this man is not an idiot because he's a billionaire, and billionaires are not dumb because they're billionaires. They didn't make all this money for no reason. People didn't just come, oh, here's some money. Right? They worked and got that money. So they have some sort of intelligence. They have a level of intelligence that other people do not have, which includes what they do on a day-to-day basis. Now, once he paid Cassie, I guarantee you, he had some kind of security firm go through his house, collect all the evidence, and wipe things. If there's even anything in the house, everything could be uploaded to a cloud server somewhere, something like how VPNs work. So if you think Diddy is that dumb, leave a comment below. Leave a comment below. I want to see what your opinion is on this, because to get to billionaire status, this man is intelligent enough to make it that far. If you think that he actually sat around and kept all of this evidence on his property after the first lawsuit, let me know. We're going to get back to the video.
Hey, you remember that time we got in the RV and crossed the country together? That's reminiscing.
Yes.
What you said earlier, I think, would be what's happening, where I'm just a JD, okay, you're the shrink, but you look back on the rape and you get sexual excitement out of that.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm queuing in with myself here, but this whole reminiscing thing, it's not some grandma on the front porch with a rocking chair going through the photo album.
Correct, but he is getting off and aroused to what's going on because that turns him on. And so what Barry was saying and I'm saying is that for the offender, this is a momentum for them as well to re-enjoy what happened, as well as for blackmail purposes.
To Brett Brown, joining me, Executive Director of SAS, that's Surviving Assault Standing Strong. It's a nonprofit on a mission to eradicate abuse and trafficking. Brett Brown, I mean, really? These women, and one man I'd like to add that we know of so far, are alleging that they were forced or coerced into sex. And now there are videos we are learning. Just to add insult to injury, some of these episodes were videotaped and some idiot kept the videos.
Yes, I see a pattern here that we see a lot among predators, and it is one of ownership. Sean Combs sets out to own his victims, and he does it in a variety of ways, but usually beginning with gifts that are Trojan horse gifts. So if you're looking to get on a label, if you want a nice place to live, if you're looking to kind of, record a record, any of these things, it's people's dreams, and then he takes them and he twists them into a nightmare. And he maintains this ownership over people through threats and intimidation. And it's been clear this is a man who makes good on his promises. He follows through on those threats. And so how many times has he been brought to justice? So when you look at the victims over the years, they're trying to figure out what survival looks like. How do they stay alive and keep going without having to relive this over and over again? For some of them, it is silence. And for others now, they are finally speaking out, even though they may be videoed.
The U.S. Attorney's Office, Southern District of New York, previously stated that 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe had been interviewed as part of the Sean Combs sex trafficking investigation.
Let me stop it right there. Now, I told you guys the Southern District of New York is building their own case against Diddy right now, right? Right now, they're building a case against Diddy. A separate case than what the Homeland Security Office is doing. Who do you think is going to win? Leave a comment below and let me know who you think is going to successfully prosecute Diddy. Because simultaneously, there are 2 different cases being built against this man. And they have interviewed 4 people, right, to talk about what's going on. So they're coming after Diddy hard. And it's probably the same 4 people who are suing him right now. So, yeah, let's get back to it.
We're now learning Combs' ex, Cassandra Ventura, has been working with the feds for weeks, possibly even before the raids.
That's number
Ventura
1.
may have expanded on the claims made in her November 2023 lawsuit to provide investigators with the probable cause necessary to execute search warrants in the mogul's homes.
Okay, that is Cassie Ventura, who's famous in her own right. But there are 4 Jane Does and 1 John Doe who have been interviewed by the feds. Listen.
I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot of business. Because what they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff, and I was like a sex slave.
Okay, whoa.
Whoa. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. O'Shea Duke Jackson. Oh, my God. This dude here said he was a sex slave. Not him. Okay. So then we got a guy on tape in the confession room, well, in an interview room, saying that he was one of the men that was having relations with Cassie. Right. So what he would do is he would have relations with her while Diddy would watch, and he'd be communicating with other people. Wow. Wow. Okay. This is different right here. Okay. Wow.
Wait, okay. It's hard to make out what he's saying, but I have transcribed it. I had sex with Cassie and Sean. Basically, he would and tell me what to do with Cassie. I had like 15 encounters, and I heard a lot about business because they would do it. What they would do is Sean talks a lot on the phone and on the TV with speakers and stuff. And I was like a sex slave. There you are. That is Cassie Ventura on multiple of her album covers.
Wow. 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 Okay. Wow. Just wow. Wow. How they got that tape, I don't know. But they got it, right? They got it. And this guy is fully confessing to being an S slave for Diddy, having relations with Cassie multiple times, 15 times. Having, yeah, that would make me puke in my mouth. Having S relations with both of them, him and Diddy, her and Diddy. Jesus Christ. Oof.
Beautiful. So let me understand, to kill a Brantley, there are right now, we know of 4 Jane Does that have been interviewed and 1 John Doe, who I am guessing is this guy, Jonathan Odie.
Yeah, Nancy. So as you heard, that there's these John Does and these Jane Does who are being interviewed, who obviously were paid a lot of money to keep quiet. Now that clearly hasn't worked out for Diddy, and this is somebody who has a lot of power, like we said, a lot of influence, like we said. And going back to the latest lawsuit filed by the woman on the yacht who alleges Diddy's son groped her. She also named Diddy for aiding and abetting. Now, she alleges that she did file a proper complaint, but that things just kind of got swept under the rug. And she alleges that Diddy paid off the captain to turn a blind eye. So if we're talking about his power, his influence, he's used to paying off anyone he can to get things to quietly go away.
I want to go back out to Brett Brown, executive director of Surviving Assault Standing Strong. I've seen a lot of rapists get away, slip through the cracks for various reasons. I wonder how long SPC, Sean Puffy Combs, has managed to do that, if at all.
It seems as though this has been going on for decades. And so when we're looking at the victims in these cases, they are having to make really difficult decisions while at the same time they are reliving their experience over and over again as more video and more audio comes out and more people speak. And so it's a long and arduous process with no guarantee at the end so far.
Scott Johnson, you were weighing in earlier about the potential sex recordings.
Yes. Yes. And so again, back to, using them for, in their mind, reliving what for them was a positive experience.
Just
and
say
as a
it
way
for
to
Pete's
blackmail.
sake, Scott Johnson.
Exactly. That's what they're doing. It's a turn on for them.
Nancy is spicy today. I have not ever seen her like this. Jesus Christ, Nancy. Pull it together. You need to go have a drink after the show or something. She's on one. Diddy has made her mad.
But also a potential blackmail piece to keep people quiet. And as has already been said, he gets away with things because people can cover up. He's not worried about it. He's not hiding.
Yeah, let's talk about this for a second. Rodney Jones, this statement by him, right? Let me move myself out the way, make it bigger. Said, treasure trove of evidence. Now, Rodney Jones, Lil Rod, is claiming that that Mr. Combs, Diddy, has cameras in every room of his homes. Mr. Combs has recordings of blank celebrities, music label executives, politicians, and athletes recorded without their knowledge and consent. He possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended freak-off parties and his house parties. And this is Rodney Jones, a statement in his lawsuit. Wow. Now imagine if this is true, how many people he has on tape and is blackmailing him right at this moment. This is major damning evidence by Rodney Jones, right? Let's go on.
He's actually sitting back, probably reveling in the fact that all of this is going on, and he's expecting everything to go away and will continue to attack the credibility of any victim.
Well, hey, there's a track record. It has gone away, Caleb Brantley. Remember the claims that were made not too long ago, and there was a hush-hush, most likely multi-million-dollar payout to get rid of them?
Yep. After Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit the next day, they settled it out of court for an undisclosed amount. And I think what's happening here is that Diddy thought the risk of having these videos was worth it to have blackmail on these high-powered people that he had these videos of. And in an Epstein-esque fashion, it worked out. Maybe we would have had lawsuits. Maybe we would have had raids and federal investigations years ago if he didn't have these videos for potential blackmail on these high-powered people.
Well, it goes beyond that, guys. This is incredible to me. But in the last hours, the alleged victim's lawyer has been attacked and claims that the victims are out to, quote, embarrass SPC, Sean Puffy Combs, completely ignoring the hell that sex trafficking victims go through. Oh, no, yeah, that didn't happen. Don't look there. Look over here. Diddy's embarrassed. Listen.
Tyrone Blackburn, the lawyer representing both Rodney Jones and Grace O'Marquez, the latest to sue Combs, is accused of improperly filing several lawsuits to, quote, garner media attention, embarrass defendants with salacious allegations.
Yes, Rodney Jones' attorney and the other young lady, their attorney, like I mentioned earlier, his name is Tyrone. He has been accused of improperly filing suit against other parties, and they've threatened him so he can remove them from the lawsuit. But that's ongoing. We don't know what's going to happen with that. But there's a lot of stuff going on that's very controversial with this lawsuit. We're going to see how far it goes. I don't think that they're going to allow him to drop it. Somebody's going to try to get him. Now, usually when there is some kind of civil case, right, going on, the authorities are close behind and they're listening. They're watching, because Homeland Security did not raid any of Diddy's houses until Rodney Jones started suing. Okay? Make sure you keep up with the timeline. First, Cassie sued him. Was she threatened to sue him? He thought she was bluffing. She filed suit. He paid the next day, right? The very next day after that, people started filing lawsuits against him. Boom. Including Rodney Jones, right? But the most damning one of all was the Rodney Jones lawsuit. Okay. Now, why? Because it had everyone, it had photos from Young Miami to her cousin, to Cuba Gooding Jr., right? To Diddy, to himself, with numerous people in there with numerous allegations. And he pretty much laid out their case for them. So the only thing he really did was take that. Only thing the government really did was take that and use that as a basis to run up in Diddy's house. Common sense tells you that, right? It's crazy what's going on, but now they're trying to say that he has improperly filed the lawsuit against Sir Lucius Grange. If you remember last week, we had basically a distro list of people that they showed that were not, that were a part of this so-called organization that's ran by Puffy, everyone that's connected to him, including Sir Lucian Grange and a lady named Ethiopia. They both work for UMG, Universal Music Group.
And pressure defendants to settle quickly. Judge Denise Cote has referred Blackburn to the New York Federal Court's Grievance Committee, which has the power to disbar Blackburn. Sean and Justin Combs' lawyer, Aaron Dyer, stated the latest filing by Blackburn is, quote, filled with the same kind of manufactured lies and irrelevant facts we've come to expect from Blackburn. We will be filing a motion to dismiss this outrageous claim.
Okay, let's analyze what we just heard. Okay, let me understand something. Kayla Brantley joining me and everybody on the panel again. We're not having high tea at Windsor Castle. If you, Charles and Camilla, look around. Do you see them? No, you don't. Jump in, for Pete's sake, if you have a thought. Kayla Brantley, let me understand this. I was used to it as a prosecutor. Every big trial I had, I would get a claim that I needed to be thrown off the case. Why? It varied. And that the judge needed to be thrown off the case. And the investigator needed to be thrown off the case. Everybody needs to get thrown off the case, right? Okay. We see it happen in a lot of high-profile cases. And here's the beginning. Claims being made on the alleged victim's lawyer that he's the bad guy. And now there's actually going to be what? A mini hearing on it? I mean, this is so backwards. The alleged victim's lawyer.
Nancy Grace sounded like somebody that went to high school with me. Bass backwards. There you go, girl. Use that slang. You know what I'm saying?
Is getting a complaint on him. You know what? I might give it a shred of analysis, but the fact that the feds just searched SPC's homes armed with assault weapons, that kind of corroborates what the victim's lawyer is saying. Oh, there's some.
And I just said that Lil Rodney Jones lawsuit pretty much laid out the reason why Homeland Security ran up in his house. So they're not going to throw this out.
New video. Ouch. I do not want to look out my kitchen window and see this. Oh, hey, did you just see that drone? They used drones to precede them to make sure nobody's hiding around a corner with an M16. So what about this, Kayla Brantley? The victim's lawyers are under attack?
I mean, clearly it just looks like it's a distraction. They're trying to attack the lawyer's credibility, trying to go after anything they can to prolong what will eventually likely be a trial, that they're going to throw anything that they can to really distract everyone, to just deny, go for credibility and hope that something.
Sound like what's going on in Donald Trump's life right now. All these motions and appeals and everything, but I digress.
Sticks and gets him off on a technicality.
And this is very common of psychopaths to use projection and put everything off on everyone else, and gaslighting. Look at how the victim's really not credible, and they're everything, everyone. That's what they're good at, is blaming to defer looking at their own client.
Yes, and yes. Bernardo Villalona, and I want to hear from you and from Brett Brown from SAS. Bernardo, I mean, any good prosecutor has been threatened with getting thrown off the case, taken off the case, prosecutorial misconduct, blah, 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 blah. I mean, if you've tried cases, they're going to come after you because they're between a rock and a hard spot, and they'll do anything. They'll even say their own lawyer who sweat blood, sweat, and tears for them. They'll say she is ineffective because there's nowhere else to go. So I'm not surprised at all the victims' lawyers are being attacked.
I'm not surprised at the victim's lawyer being attacked. However, Nancy, let's be clear. In this case, who gave Diddy and his attorneys the attack is a federal district court judge. This is Judge Denise Colt, who plainly said that she has great concern and pause in this attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, because he has filed in at least 5 different federal cases, some cases that have insufficiencies, and that supposedly, she said, that Blackburn has a history of bringing these cases for social publicity, to get a money grab. So that's why a federal district court judge, we're talking about a judge here, is the one who made the complaint to the bar committee, to the bar association. So in terms of, normally you hear about attorneys being attacked, judges being attacked, but when you have a judge saying this about an attorney, I think we have to.
So we got the judge complaining about Tyrone's filing of the lawsuit. Maybe Diddy got him in his pocket too, because you usually don't hear judges doing things like it. This is a rarity, if that makes sense. Like, wow, okay, so you got a judge reporting you to the bar committee? Like, what? Okay.
To look at it even more clearly and give it some more weight. And remember, this is also the same district court judge in the same district where these lawsuits have been filed.
I want to be clear that the order the judge has filed against the alleged victim's lawyer Blackburn, was about an entirely separate case. It's just bubbled back up into the media consciousness because that lawyer Blackburn is also representing some of Diddy's alleged victims. Now, Judge Coates' ruling happened as it relates to a case about a year ago, a legal malpractice lawsuit that Blackburn filed last year. And he was referred to a grievance committee then for the Southern District of New York. But now, Bernarda, everybody's talking about it because he's also representing SPC's alleged victims.
Yes, Tyrone Blackburn, who has huge credibility issues in that Southern District, in that federal district courthouse, where he's now filed these 2 lawsuits.
Look how they talk about him because he made a mistake. Credibility issues. Throw him under the bus. Throw him under the bus, I mean. Go ahead and throw him under the bus. That's what they do. Make him look like he don't know what he's doing. Meanwhile, he's got 2 of the biggest lawsuits against Diddy there is. She might be working for him too. Never know. Look how she's talking about the attorney. Whose side are you on here? You're supposed to be unbiased. Your opinion sounds a little like you're leaning toward the side of Diddy. Maybe you got a check you done slid in your pocket.
Having to deal with Sean Puffy Combs, it's a big issue. If he's really looking to do what's in the best interest of his clients, of the victims, of the complainants, he should step aside and allow somebody else to represent them because he has huge credibility issues. And when we're talking about the Southern District in that courthouse, attorneys talk, judges talk, and his credibility is on the line. You're talking about this order that's been placed a year before anything came out having to deal with Puffy. And here we have him at the center stage with these 2 lawsuits having to deal with Sean Puffy Combs. So in terms of his credibility,
you know what, Bernarda
it's
Villalona? You can find Bernarda at villalonalaw.com. Bernarda, I don't know that I agree with everything that you said, but I can tell you this much. If these cases go in front of a jury, you think the jury's going to hear from Attorney Blackburn? No, they're not. It's the alleged victim's credibility that matters, not the lawyers.
Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. Thank you. Put her in her place. She done this twice today. Nancy is spicy today, baby.
Victims are telling the truth, bam, The jury's not going to hear about a grievance filed in another case against the lawyer. But
Yes,
we can go
Nancy.
round and round about that all day, but I want you to look at something else. In the last days, new video has emerged, new footage of the searches of Combs's home, and we're learning a lot. Look, you're seeing armed Homeland Security investigators searching with drones, with weapons pulled, automatic weapons, inside Combs's home. Barry Golden, formerly with the U.S. Marshal Service, what about it? Let's see the video, Liz.
They did exactly what they were supposed to. That is standard operating procedure. You go in heavy, you go in armed with body armor ready. They brought in the armored vehicles just in case. You don't want to pull up in front of a residence and all of a sudden somebody walks out and starts shooting at you. So law enforcement is taking a safety approach. They go in heavy, command and control. There have been allegations of excessive force. I didn't see an excessive force there. The sons were brought out. They were searched. Their hands were put behind their head. Okay. You even saw the agents just put their hands on one of the sons' head and walk them backwards. And then, yes, they were handcuffed outside just so everybody is safe. Nobody does any stupid movements. Nobody reaches for anything. That is standard operating procedure for law enforcement. I've done that so many times, I can't even tell you how many times. That is done by the FBI, HSI, ATF, U.S. Marshals, and DEA. That's what they do. I didn't see any allegation of excessive force. They did it by the book, okay? And yes, they used drones because when you have allegations of guns in there, let's put somebody that a non-human in there to give us eyes on the inside of that property. Now we know what we're going into, okay? And it's clear and it's safe. And now law enforcement moves in there, command and control that home, and now you can search the entire house without any problems.
Yeah, the last thing I want is another agent shot dead, just affecting a search. Liz, one last time, can I look at that? The video has just been released, apparently released by Combs's ex, to show, quote, excessive force and militaristic efforts used by the Homeland Security investigators, but it's apparently had the exact opposite effect.
All right, we're going to stop it right there, guys. We've been on here almost an hour and a half. I want to hear your thoughts and comments. Please leave a comment below. Like I always say, if you're watching this on the replay, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. Please, guys. It means a lot to the channel. We're growing over here. We want to continue to grow. We want to continue to push this message out in front of as many nomadic mindset people as possible. Like I always say, this is a place where we're going to meet and congregate. So we're trying to grow over here. So please help us grow by hitting that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Tell a friend about this video. Tell a friend about this channel. Tell them to come over and check us out and see what we got going on so they can give us their opinion as well on it. We want to know what you think about the content. This is what helps content creators become better content creators. If you got any content that you want to see reviewed, send me an email down below, right? Please support the channel. We're not monetized yet, but we're trying to get monetized. So the Cash App is below. You can send Cash Apps if you want to. It's going to go toward a good cause. It's not just for my pockets, but it's to try to eventually help needy causes and needy people around the world. We want to do better, and we want to showcase our skills and efforts in doing so. Please support the channel. Please support the podcast. Go subscribe and follow us on all social media platforms. And we're out. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please remember, leave a comment below. All right. Thank you, Alexander X, for tuning in. Missed you, buddy. Come on in here. Hit that like button. Thank you, Lakakina. Yes, guys, please hit the like button. The more you hit the like button, the more it brings people in here. We start to get people to come from various places. Like I said, we're trying to be international. So we're trying to bring people from all over the world, people that got that nomad mindset, to this channel here. Bring them here. Tell your friends, come check us out here. All right. We're live. We're going to end today, but we'll be back next week. I'm out. Thank you guys. Bye.